Hello, I'm Rosanne Sherazi. I'm a registered dietitian and a health and wellness specialist for SummaCare. We're all aware that optimum nutrition is so very important to our health and well-being. But sometimes, as we search for the most current recommendations, we can easily be misled with confusing information. So this presentation is about getting back to the basics of nutrition as a foundation for making better food choices. Hopefully, when we are mindful of these basics, we will be on our way to optimum nutrition. Today, I plan to provide an introduction into nutrition and a review of some of the nutrients that are found in our foods. I will provide tips for making good food choices for optimum nutrition, including meal planning strategies and tips to help you navigate the grocery store. When we build a healthy diet, we are well aware that nutrient excess can lead to health risks such as obesity, cancer, heart disease, high blood pressure, and diabetes. But too little of a nutrient or a deficiency can also impact our health. These examples include osteoporosis, iron deficiency anemia, low immunity, gum disease, tooth decay, poor healing, and fatigue. So what are the nutrients? They are naturally occurring chemical compounds in the foods we eat that are used by the body to function properly and maintain health. Nutrients can be essential and non-essential. Essential means that they must be provided by the foods we eat and are necessary to sustain life. But I also want to touch on non-essential nutrients. These are naturally occurring components that have been identified in foods to improve our overall health. Although not essential, again, they're encouraged to be included in a healthy meal plan. I want to note that the study of nutrition also deals with non-nutritive additives to food, such as caffeine, artificial flavorings, coloring, preservatives, artificial sweeteners, genetically modified foods, pesticides, and many other food safety issues. Today, we will only be reviewing the known beneficial nutrients for health. There are 6 classes of essential nutrients. Again, these are the nutrients that must be supplied through the diet. These are carbohydrate, protein, fat, water, vitamins, and minerals. They are divided into macronutrients and micronutrients. They are classified by the amount needed in the body. Macro means large, so macronutrients are those that are needed in larger amounts. These are measured in grams by weight of the product. These include the energy-containing nutrients. Carbohydrate, protein, and fat provide calories. Carbohydrate at the rate of 4 calories per gram of weight. Protein at the rate of 4 calories per gram of weight. And fat at the rate of 9 calories per gram of weight, which is twice as much energy as carbohydrate and protein. Note, when considering your caloric intake, alcohol also provides significant calories at 7 calories per gram. This is almost as much as fat. So it can be a significant part of your daily total caloric intake. So even if you drink in moderation, you may want to consider the caloric contribution. Water does not contain calories, but it's still classified as a macronutrient because we need large amounts proportionately to other nutrients. Micronutrients include all of the vitamins and minerals. Again, they do not have calories, but rather have important supportive functions in the body. They are needed in small or very small amounts. They're measured in milligrams, micrograms, or even nanograms, but they are essential nonetheless. So carbohydrates is the first of the macros that I would like to mention. It is found in all plant foods, grains, fruits, vegetables, sugar, and honey. The only non-plant food that contains carbohydrate is milk. Milk contains the sugar lactose. Lactose is found not only in milk, but in foods made from milk, such as yogurt, pudding, and ice cream. Note that carbs are not in all dairy foods. Specifically, cheese is not high in carbohydrate. Most of the lactose component has been removed in the cheese making process. And the harder the cheese, the less lactose it contains. So since cheese is high in protein and low in carbohydrate, it is often categorized as a protein food in meal plans that focus on macros. So I would like to briefly explain the role of carbs in the body. All carbs from our foods are converted to glucose. Glucose is the fuel source for our brain and central nervous system. The brain needs and wants only glucose for energy. Protein can be converted to glucose if needed in the absence of carbohydrate, but this is not efficient. It is hard on the kidneys, and then the protein can't be used for all of its other important functions. This is one of the main concerns for the very low carbohydrate and keto type diets. Ketones are just not efficient fuel for the long term and will cause rapid muscle breakdown. So it is best to use caution before drastically cutting back on carbs. Now, carbs can be simple or complex based on the size of the carb and how quickly they can be converted to blood sugar after they are eaten. Simple carbs are small carbs and are the sugars in the diets. These can be naturally occurring, such as in milk or fruit, or added to foods such as sugary desserts and drinks. They will convert quickly to blood sugar. Now, complex carbohydrates are large carbohydrates and are the starches in the diet. These often contain fiber and convert more slowly to glucose in the blood. Fiber is part of the complex carbohydrate. It does not digest fully, and as such, it can help lower the cholesterol levels, control hunger, and improve digestive health. Eating too much carbohydrate, especially added sweets and refined carbohydrates, such as low fiber, white breads, crackers, noodles, they can leave you tired and hungry very quickly after eating. They can also contribute to insulin spikes and therefore weight gain. So instead of going on a keto diet, maybe go on a low processed food diet for better results. A few thoughts on fiber. Remember, fiber is a carbohydrate. So when we eat low carb diets, we are at risk for not getting enough fiber. So our diets are already low in fiber. Most people only eat 11 to 15 grams of fiber a day. But the recommended intake for people 50 and under is at least 25 to 35 grams a day. So eating foods high in dietary fiber, such as whole grains, fruit, vegetables, nuts, seeds, and beans, they can help to improve our digestive health. They can help us to stay regular, and they can help to lower our risk for heart disease, stroke, and diabetes. Fiber gives you a sense of feeling full or satiety without adding calories. So it can actually aid in weight loss. There are two types of fiber, soluble and insoluble, and they're both are needed for good health. If you eat a high fiber diet from a variety of complex carbs, you will be getting both kinds of fiber. Soluble means that fiber will dissolve or soften in water. It will actually create like a gel-like substance, and it helps lower cholesterol and regulates blood sugar. Examples are oats, fruits, barley, legumes, and beans. Think of how these foods thicken and become gummy when cooked. Insoluble means the fiber will not dissolve in water, but rather water binds to it. It is implicated in reducing cancer risk, diverticulosis, and hemorrhoids. Examples are 100% whole wheat vegetables, 100% whole wheat, vegetables, and fruit. We need both kinds of fiber. Protein is the next macro that I want to review. It serves many important functions in the body, including it's necessary to build and repair body tissues. It is a main component of all cells, tissues, muscle, organs, and blood. It is found in all hormones, enzymes, and antibodies, and it helps to regulate fluid balance. It can provide calories, energy, in the form of 4 calories per gram. And it can be used for the brain in the absence of carbs, such as when someone's on a very low calorie or a very low carbohydrate diet. But as noted, it's really not the preferred energy source. Protein can be found in animal and plant sources. Animal sources include beef, pork, chicken, turkey, lamb, fish, cheese, cottage cheese, eggs, and Greek yogurt. But it's very important to make sure you choose lean or low-fat protein, as many of these animal proteins can be high in the unhealthy saturated fat. If you are on a plant-forward diet, such as the Mediterranean, vegetarian, or vegan, you can still get plenty of protein from plant foods. Good plant sources include beans, lentils, hummus, nuts, nut butters, seeds, soy-based foods like tofu, quinoa, and other whole grains. Usually, the less refined the grain, the more protein that it will contain. Fats and oils make up the third category of the energy-yielding nutrients, or macros. It is a concentrated source of calories at 9 calories per gram. And we sometimes lose sight of the many benefits of fat because we always implicate excess fat with weight gain. But fat can be very beneficial. Whereas carbohydrate is the main source of energy for the brain and central nervous system, fat is the main source of energy for the heart, organs, and muscles. Fat has many other functions. It helps to cushion organs, it maintains body temperature, it maintains skin elasticity, it prevents skin dryness. It acts as a transporter for cholesterol. The transporters are called lipoprotein, lipo meaning fat, protein being protein. And two in particular are high density lipoproteins, or HDLs, and low density lipoproteins, LDLs. It plays an important role in hormone function, and it can act as a laxative. In the diet, fat provides flavor and texture to foods and will provide a sense of satiety and fullness. Remember, fat is an essential nutrient. We like fat, and we need to add healthy fats to our diet. Here's a quick review of types of fats. The healthy fats are the unsaturated fats. The healthy fats are the unsaturated fats. These are the oils in the diet. We want to choose these more often. Unsaturated fats are classified as monounsaturated and polyunsaturated. Monounsaturated fats include olive oil, avocado, peanuts, peanut butter, nuts, and seeds. Polyunsaturated fats include omega-3 fatty acid and is found in salmon, tuna, and sardines, as well as walnuts, flax seeds, and soybeans. Unhealthy fats should be chosen less often. These are saturated fats. They're solid at room temperature, including butter, hard cheese, beef fat, as well as tropical oils, including coconut oil and palm oil. Just because oil is in their name, they are still saturated and less healthy. Now, trans fats are banned in foods. They are from partially hydrogenated oils and were often found in baked goods and crackers. They provided the creaminess and flaky texture to these foods. But beware, they are now being replaced with the saturated palm and coconut oils, which is just replacing one unhealthy fat for another. The reason we support the healthy unsaturated fats is that they have been shown to reduce inflammation and to reduce unhealthy blood cholesterol. And again, the unhealthy blood cholesterol is LDL cholesterol, or low density lipoprotein. This is the way that the cholesterol travels in the bloodstream to be deposited by plaque. They also are implicated in inflammation. And so again, the saturated fats increase inflammation, they raise total cholesterol and LDL cholesterol, and that contributes to the clogged arteries. Saturated fats are implicated in heart disease, cancer, and diabetes, which is why we are encouraged to limit these. Your doctor measures total cholesterol. So if you haven't had it done, that might be something that you might want to talk to your doctor about. They use a test called a lipid profile, and it will measure your total cholesterol, your LDL and HDL cholesterols, as well as triglyceride. The LDL stands for low density lipoprotein, and you think of it low as lousy. So this one we want to keep controlled. HDL stands for high density lipoprotein, and H is healthy. And this is the way that the cholesterol travels through the bloodstream where it's going to be excreted for the body. So this is the beneficial lipoprotein. The last macronutrient is water. It is the most abundant and the most important nutrient. The body is mostly water, including the brain, which contains about 85% water. When you dehydrate, even slightly, it can lead to headaches, fatigue, and a false sense of hunger. A lot of times when people say they're hungry, if we encourage them to drink a glass of water first before they eat, they may find that the hunger dissipates. Water has many functions, which include to digest food, carry waste out of the body, regulate body temperature, and lubricate joints. The other nutrients can't do their jobs if water is not plentiful. It affects metabolism and regulates all body functions. So it's very important to stay hydrated. The amount of water recommended is very individualized. As a guideline, we recommend about 64 ounces a day, but you may need more or less depending on your weight, your activity level, and other factors. So keep in mind that foods contribute water to your total body needs. So fruits, vegetables, milk, and soups all can contribute. So it's good to include those in your diet for many reasons. But a simple trick to know if you're dehydrating a little bit is to watch your urine. Your urine should be a pale yellow. And if it's not, then that might indicate that you need to drink a little bit more water. Also, drink before you are thirsty. Try and get in the habit of drinking throughout the day. When you are thirsty, you are already starting to dehydrate. Try to have mostly plain water. Caffeine, alcohol, and sugar-sweetened beverages, they don't count as a hydrating beverage because they just don't hydrate as well. And then artificially sweetened beverages are not recommended because they have been shown to possibly affect our healthy bacteria in our colon. We call that the microbiome. And some studies indicate that it might contribute to weight gain and blood glucose fluctuations. So even though there aren't any calories or aren't any carbohydrates in those beverages, they can still have a physical effect. If you do choose to drink one like a artificially sweetened beverage, do so definitely in moderation. A good rule of thumb is whether it's a cup of coffee or, a Diet Coke, is to go ahead and start your day with a glass of water and then alternate with water in between any other beverages that you drink. That way you're more assured to getting the proper amount of water to stay healthy and hydrated. Now for the micronutrients. Vitamins and minerals are micronutrients. They are essential, but they're needed in smaller amounts. They play a supporting role by helping to regulate body processes. Vitamins are either classified as water soluble or fat soluble, depending on how they are absorbed and how they are transported and how they are utilized in the body. So these are fat soluble vitamins, are vitamins A, D, E, and K. And the water soluble vitamins are all of the B vitamins and vitamin C. So, as a group, vitamins have been found to play a role in healthy vision, growth and metabolism, healthy skin and eyes. The lining of our GI tract, beginning with the stomach, is called the epithelial tissue, and the vitamins help keep that very healthy, and it plays a role with the strong immune system. The last of the 6 essential nutrient classes is minerals. So in addition to the regulatory functions, some minerals have structural functions, such as calcium and phosphorus, which are necessary to form bones and teeth. Other minerals are electrolytes, and they play an important role in fluid balance and muscle contractions, including heart function. So electrolytes just mean that they have an electrical charge, whether it be a positive charge or a negative charge. These include sodium and potassium, magnesium, and chloride, to name a few. The mineral iron plays an important role in transporting oxygen in the blood. Note that a varied diet that includes all of the food groups is the best way to get all of the vitamins and minerals in the correct amounts. Supplements are sometimes necessary, and most supplements are not harmful. A multivitamin mineral, such as a 1-a-day or a Centrum, is generally safe. If you take individual nutrients or larger doses, they should be discussed with and or prescribed by your physician, just to make sure that they are correct for you. So, as I mentioned, there are some non-essential nutrients that have been identified as being very essential for good health. The non-essential nutrients that I would like to mention are phytonutrients, as well as probiotics and prebiotics. They are not essential, but they have been found to be important to overall health for disease prevention and to optimize bodily functions. The phytonutrients are found in plants. Mainly, they're in fruits and vegetables, but they're also found in grains. They have important antioxidant and anti-inflammatory properties. They play an important role in cancer prevention, heart disease, and diabetes, and may help control inflammatory conditions such as fibromyalgia or arthritis. The key is to eat the rainbow, include a wide variety of colorful fruits and vegetables every day. Let me give you a couple of examples. Lycopene is in the red-orange pigment in foods such as tomatoes. Anthocyanin is in blue-purple pigment in foods such as blueberries. And carotenoids are in orange-yellow pigment produced in produce such as carrots. In general, again, a variety of fruits and vegetables not only provide a variety of phytonutrients, but remember, we're also getting fiber, vitamins, and minerals that we had already talked about. So the other important non-essential nutrients are probiotics and prebiotics. These affect our healthy gut, or what we call a microbiome, which is the bacteria environment, which is very important for digestive health and the absorption of nutrients. There is a lot of research going on into the microbiome, not only what can support it, but also its many effects on our body. What we do know is that the bacteria can help to control blood sugar, gastrointestinal function, weight control, and other benefits. Probiotics in the diet are the actual active bacteria that we consume to replenish the gut. You can find them as supplements, and many people do take them as supplements, but naturally they are in yogurt. You want to look for lactobacillus, kefir, and kombucha. Kombucha is a fermented black tea drink, and kimchi, which is a fermented cabbage. Prebiotics are found in plant fibers, and they feed the gut bacteria. This is just as important as consuming the probiotics themselves. So most of us can fairly easily focus in on the prebiotics in our diet. They can facilitate the absorption of calcium, reduction in spikes in blood sugar. They can ferment foods faster, which helps reduce constipation, and they keep the cells that line your gut healthy. So again, they have, as a group, they have some very beneficial side effects. They're found in many fruits, vegetables, and whole grains. So this is another great reason for increasing the amount and the variety of fiber in the diet, as it will promote a healthy microbiome. So there you have it, a crash course on the nutrients. There is so much to nutrition, it can be so confusing. So the next question is how to ensure that you are getting what you need, not too much or not too little. A good starting point is to get back to the basic meal planning principles of balance, moderation, and variety. For balance, try using MyPlate. This is a tool that will help you to visually balance your carbs, protein, and fat. Use moderation by limiting how much and how often you eat of certain foods. Practice portion control and read the food labels. And then you can have variety in your choices by choosing a colorful diet. We sometimes refer to that as eating the rainbow. So have a lot of variety. Change up your choices day to day. The goal is to try not to have the same foods and the same meals day after day. By having the variety in moderate amounts in a balance can help to make sure that you're getting all the nutrients that you need through foods. So again, this tool is myplate.gov, and it can be used for balance, moderation, and portion control. So you want to use a smaller plate. This is a 9-inch plate, and you want to divide it as shown. So about half of the plate should be a variety of low-calorie vegetables. They can be cooked or they can be raw. And again, remember, we eat with our eyes. We can get a lot of color. The plate can look beautiful depending on which vegetables that you choose here. A fourth of the plate should be carbs, whole grains, or fresh fruit. So again, you want to have a variety there. If you choose to have fruit instead of the grain, that's fine. But by limiting it to about 1/4 of the plate, that's going to help you to control the carbohydrate in that meal. And then finally, 1/4 of the plate should be your protein. So protein is a portion is usually about 3 to 4 ounces. And again, this is showing an animal protein, but you can just as easily have, some beans, tofu, or something similar to that. Again, make the plate colorful and interesting. Use different textures, use different shapes, use different colors. We eat with our eyes. We'll be more satisfied if the food looks appealing and if the plate looks full because of all those vegetables. And in the meantime, we'll be getting more nutrition as well. Being aware of portion sizes can help with balance, moderation, and control. And again, your plate can help you to do that. But a simple tool is to use your hand to estimate. Now, of course, you can use measuring cups and scales if that's, important to you and your nutrition goals. But for a lot of us, using our palm is a good rule of thumb. Our palm is going to be about 3 ounces of protein, about the size of the palm and the thickness. So if you have a food that's thinner, let's say a fish fillet, you might find that it's larger than the diameter of your palm because of that. But it's just used to visually estimate a 3-ounce portion of protein. And if you were to put that palm on 1/4 of the plate that we just mentioned, it's going to take up just about 1/4 of the plate. A cupped hand is about a serving of fruit. So like if you were to cup your hand and put like a apple in there, a medium apple should nicely fit into the cup of your hand. Or if you had a few grapes or other foods such as that, an orange or a pear. So that's going to be about 1 serving or about 2/3 cup of a piece of fruit. If your fist is totally closed, especially for the gals in here, that's going to be about 1 cup. And if you were to put that on 1/4 of your plate, you're going to see that that's pretty much takes up the whole 1/4 of the plate. So if it's a lot more than that, then your portion might be a little bit too large, depending on what your nutrition goals are. Your fingertip is 1 teaspoon. Your thumb is about a tablespoon. So again, it's not exact science, but it will help you to estimate, especially if you're eating away from home at a restaurant and so on. And maybe in the beginning, go ahead and compare these to the measuring cups that you have at home and to see how big is your fist. Okay. Again, using these portions in combination with the plate is a great way to have balance and to use moderation. And then by having a variety of foods on that plate, again, it will ensure that you're getting a great assortment of macro and micronutrients, phytochemicals, and pre and probiotics. When you eat away from home, you can still stay on track for improved nutrition. Planning ahead and preparing your meals at home will really go a long way. This is an example of what you might want to bring for lunch one day. A healthy lunch approach might be start with a dependable drink, and water's always a good way to start. Maybe you can flavor it with lemon or lime, or you can have an unsweetened tea, and maybe even like a flavored seltzer that doesn't have any artificial sweetener in it. So that would be great as a starting point. You want to have a sturdy anchor. Try to avoid a lunch that's built with refined carbohydrates such as white bread, chips, and pop. This will help you to avoid that energy drain and concentration drain for the rest of the day. I know we've all had them. Instead, try and pack a lunch that's high in lean protein, whole grains, fiber, and healthy fats to keep your body satisfied. Next, you want to have some sides with substance. So think, whether you want crunchy or, um, sweet or what have you, but you can have veggies, fruits, nuts, hummus, whole wheat crackers. So these are a good addition as part of your side, as part of your lunch. Sometimes people will pack their lunch and those side dishes, if they don't want them at lunchtime, they might save them for an afternoon pick-me-up. A healthy fat such as avocado, nuts, or light mayo or salad dressing can be included. Remember, the fat is going to give you satiety, so it's going to help to keep you feeling full a little bit longer. And then treat yourself if your calories allow. Maybe a Greek yogurt, maybe a flavored Greek yogurt, or a low sugar pudding, sugar-free Jell-O, or a small piece of dark chocolate. So here's an example for a lunch that you might want to consider, or maybe you are already doing it. Have a salad. Just think of all the different vegetables you can put in a salad, dark greens and spinach with carrots and tomato and purple cabbage, all kinds of phytonutrients that are in there with all those colors. Your protein can be a grilled chicken breast or maybe some tuna. Add fat in the form of olives, avocado slices, light Italian dressing, even nuts on a salad. And then you can have maybe some whole wheat crackers like Triscuits on the side. And as to finish your meal, maybe you want something a little sweet, such as a Greek yogurt with some berries. So again, you're getting a lot of food, a lot of fiber. You're getting the protein and the healthy fats you need without having excessive calories. Some grocery shopping tips that might be helpful. Make a shopping list. By being prepared with healthy ingredients at home can help to ensure that you are able to easily pull together healthy meals and snacks away from home or when you're in a rush after work. And hopefully then your meals will focus in on balance, moderation, and variety. So start with a shopping list. Focus on less processed, high fiber, low fat, and low saturated fat food choices, like we mentioned. So general tips for shopping. Again, have a plan. Look at ads to plan your meals in advance and to add to your shopping list. Hopefully by buying things that are in the ad and advertised can also help you to control your budget, which eating healthy sometimes can be a little expensive if you're not careful. Try not to shop when you're too hungry or tired. In general, try to shop the perimeter of the store, but I think the stores are onto us because they're starting to put a lot of other things in the perimeter that aren't always as healthy for us. But at least we can get our fresh foods in the perimeter of the store. But you can find many time-saving healthy ingredients in the aisle, such as canned low-salt beans. Even store brands now have low salt, canned low salt tomatoes, bean pasta made from chickpeas and lentils, You can get frozen vegetables in a microwavable bag. You can get frozen berries, especially off season like it is now. So you can get a lot of healthy ingredients if you plan carefully going up and down the aisles. But you want to read labels to compare healthier options that have minimal added ingredients, especially like sodium and sugar. So in summary, Nutrition 101 is an introduction into the nutrients necessary for good health. We focused in on the essential nutrients, protein, carbohydrate, fat, water, vitamins, and minerals. And we talked about a couple of beneficial non-essential nutrients, the phytonutrients, prebiotics, and probiotics. The strategies of balance, moderation, and variety is a good way to get the right amount of nutrients that you need for good health. Be mindful of these strategies as you practice good choices, and that includes portion control, grocery shopping, and meal planning. Thank you for joining me today. I'm a health coach here with SummaCare, and my services are available telephonically as part of your benefit. Please contact SummaCare if you have questions about this presentation or would like to engage in health coaching. Here is a reminder about health coaching and other SummaCare resources that may be helpful in your health journey. The resources include an annual visit with your primary care provider, condition and care management. This is talking to a nurse if you have a condition that has complex needs. And also they can help you to access diabetic testing supplies if you need that. Health coaching, as I mentioned, is what I do here at SummaCare. WebMD is accessed through Plan Central, and it has all kinds of good information, education pieces, health trackers. They can help you set goals and complete a health assessment. They even have exercise examples that you can do at home. So that's a great resource to tap into and just spend some time reading through that and interacting with it as you have time. We have a 24-hour nurse line. SummaCare nurses are available 24/7, and they can help address your medical questions. Teledoc Health is a telemedicine feature that you can use while traveling or in need for minor medical issues and concerns. There's a smoking cessation program called Quick Care, which is telephonic coaching and limited nicotine replacement therapy. And then we also have Husk, which is for health and wellness discounts. And through this, you can access discounted health club memberships, nutrition programs, and other educational resources. Husk is not a free benefit, but again, it will highlight discounted options for you. So again, the SummaCare resources are some of the different resources that may be available with your plan. But we are glad that you are a member of SummaCare and hope that you find these resources helpful. Thank you.